Hey guys, and welcome to Natural Aesthetics. Full week of training in this video, featuring 4 sessions, starting off with lower body, and this is 197.5 kilos for 2. It's been a real odd week of training, very up and down. That's mostly down to a variety of the amount of calories I've been having per day. It's not been consistent, and also the amount of sleep. That's been far from consistent, and therefore that's affected my performance in the gym, most notably on the big lifts. So these are deadlifts. I always do my warm-up sets with a double overhand. The set before this, 185, was double overhand. This was 206 and I wanted 5. It just wasn't happening, didn't have any drive at all. Felt sluggish before the session started, and that's never a good sign. So I chose to do some deficit deadlifts instead. Now, as the name suggests, you're pulling from a deficit. You raise your body up so the weight is lower down to start with. This obviously makes it harder as you're moving the weight further. And for anyone who's perhaps slow at the beginning of the lift and has trouble moving the weight, perhaps those first couple of inches, then this is a worthwhile addition to your exercise regime. And I'm going to be perhaps including some of these in every now and again. I then follow up with hamstrings, just sticking to hamstring curls, keeping it simple, not doing any stiff leg deadlifts at the moment. I'm really liking these, and I am noticing some slight gains in my hamstring development. Now, this is purely for me an aesthetic exercise. I'm using it to shape my legs to how I want them to look. In terms of strength, it's not really going to give me much. The squatting and deadlifting wouldn't. So then moving on to calves, and today was a very heavy session. I think 720s each side there, so yeah, just hitting them hard and heavy. I also do lower weights for higher reps, but that particular day was heavy. So moving on to upper body, I was sort of experimenting with some new elbow sleeves, quite thick ones. They felt pretty good. Kind of missed my groove on some of the reps there. That was 127.5 for 3. So I don't really using them all the time. I have some very thin sort of basic Adidas elbow sleeves that I wear on my normal pressing, on my dumbbells and stuff. Using them here on these 50s. I don't want to wear those thick ones all the time, and I need to get used to them, to be honest, to be able to actually benefit from it. So this is 2 sets of 50 with incline dumbbells. First set was easy, second set a little bit sluggish. But next session I'll be using 52.5 kilos, so I have to strap 1.25 to each side. So those are going okay. Next up, barbell rows, 160 kilos for a set of 5. Felt comfortable on this, not too challenging, hitting the belt on each rep, and yet it's loose form. As anyone who's watched my videos recently would have noticed that I like barbell rowing with loose form. It's a fantastic exercise. 140 kilos for an easy 8. Really chuffed with how these are going at the moment. And then some cheat curls. This is my heavy arm day, my first upper body day of the week. I do heavy arms, 50 kilo dumbbell curls. These are great for the forearms. I also do some higher rep stuff. In the top right corner, I'm just doing a set of incline dumbbells. So just adding a bit more volume into my arm exercises. But this day went heavy. Did some cheap barbell curls, which I haven't done in ages. These felt pretty heavy, 80 kilos for 4. And I shall be using this a little bit more frequently over the next few weeks. Trying to push that over 90 kilos, I hope. Tricep close grip bench press, 90 kilos for very easy 5. Did about 3 sets on this, recorded 2. Just playing around with my grip. Can't decide whether I want to use a thumbs under grip or a suicide grip, or a regular grip where my thumb grips round the bar. I then follow up with some push downs. I believe on this day I did 10 sets of 10, using relatively light weight, just focusing on slow negatives and controlling that weight in all aspects of the movement. Lower body day 2, 197.5 kilos for 3. Messed the first rep up, lost my groove completely, and therefore the second and third reps were a little bit more challenging. Second rep was okay, and the third rep was a real grinder. I would have completed it on myself. Sean didn't really touch me, There's one of my clients behind me. As you can see, I had it there. He's just there, just in case. So I was pretty pleased with that. I know that I can get over 205 now for sure for one rep. Then did some paused reps. I was pausing at the bottom for a second. 145 for a set of 8. Pleased with these. I really enjoy pause squats. I do them at the end of my sessions. I only do once per week. I don't do them both lower body sessions. And I'm hitting 8 reps each session, going up about 2.5 kilos per week. I'm going to stick to these. I feel like it's a really good exercise for me, and one that I can increase the weight quite consistently. It's a difficult exercise when I'm using heavy squats. I'm using the stretch reflex, you know, at the bottom when I use heavy weights. Whereas with these, I can almost focus on the technique a little bit more, and if I feel myself wobbling or I'm out of sync, out of position, then I can readjust that at the bottom and then push up with the form that I need to. You don't really get time to do that sometimes when you're squatting, you know, in a regular style. So I like those and recommend them to anyone. I'm also doing some static holds at the end of a session. 300 kilos here. You'll be surprised with how much weight you can hold on this type of exercise. It's a fantastic one to, if anything, just give you a little bit more mental confidence under heavy weights. It certainly makes me feel a little bit more confident when I'm holding 190, 200 kilos on my back. It doesn't feel quite so heavy. Next up, upper body day 2, heavy bench press. Bit of a poor session. Bench press did not go as planned at all. Just mixed it up, 122.5 for free, and then did some pause reps with a very slow negative. Sort of veering away from the program with this session. Overhead press again didn't go quite as planned. The first rep I lost my balance, and then that mucked the whole setup. 76 kilos for 4. I should nail 5 quite easily. I'm sure next session I'll more than likely get 5 or even 6. It's just that first rep threw me off a little bit. Again, sticking to some pull-ups with my back training, switching between like looser form pull-ups with heavier weights, where I'm not controlling the negative and I'm not going up quite so high, and with these lighter weight sets where I'm going up as high as I can and just taking a bit more time to control that weight. Then instead of low row, I wanted to do a single-sided pull. Just want to make sure that my left side, especially after this nerve inflammation, I want to include some sort of single-sided exercises in there, is up to scratch and is where it needs to be in terms of strength versus the right side. This is a great exercise for the lats. Now this is a vertical pull, even though it's horizontal in terms of the cable to my body. If you look at where my head is in relation to the cable, I'm pulling down as if I was doing a lat pull down, and my right hand there is supporting my body weight, so I'm not going to slide along the floor or collapse when that weight's pulling me back. Great exercise to do. Now I did arms again on this session. I hit arms on both upper body days. Close grip bench press, 92.5 kilos for 5, pretty easy again. And some overhead extensions, again sticking to the single armed exercises, just trying to get my left side up to scratch and to get it a little bit closer to my right side in terms of strength. These are a great exercise, very challenging. You can spot yourself on this if you need to. You just use a little finger from the other hand to push underneath your wrist, just to provide assistance if you need to at the top. So that's pretty much my whole week of training, minus a few exercises, especially for arms and grip, which you saw in my last video. So subscribe if you haven't, guys, for more videos on natural bodybuilding, strength and training. Take a look at my Facebook page, all the links are in the description box below, and stay strong. Thanks for watching, guys.